What up, YouTube? Today I'm making a video about one of the dumbest Ukrainian takes I have ever seen on YouTube. By a former Green Beret, Tim Kennedy. You know him, he's been on Joe Rogan, he was part of Pineapple Express, he wrote a fucking book, he is a MMA fighter, and etc. and etc. So yeah, this guy, man, like, this should... Captain America, or should I say Captain Propaganda, man. Been in Frozen since the 1950s. Anyway, let's check out the video and I'll just take it apart, man. Fucking ridiculous.
You've been to Ukraine. A lot of people have an opinion about the U.S.'s involvement, should be, shouldn't be, but zooming into the actual on-the-ground experience there, because most people, including myself, that have an opinion one way or the other about U.S.'s involvement don't know the realities of what's actually happening on the ground with human beings in Ukraine. I'm curious, would you be able to share why you were over there, what you were doing, and what you saw?
I'm part of a nonprofit, a non-government organization called Save Our Allies. We were part of the evacuation in Afghanistan, and our name is pretty straightforward. It's not a misnomer as to what we try to do. And as we tried to save Americans and our allies in Afghanistan, if you shift that view to Ukraine, do we have allies there? Well, in my mind, anybody that fights communism is my ally.
I like how you see that.
Yeah. Does that mean that that is a great person, or they're doing fantastic things, or the way that they're going about it is right, or that there's oligarchs that are pocketing a percentage of the money? Like, all of those things might be true, and I don't like any of those things, but ultimately they are still fighting my enemy, which is communism. And I will fight communism anywhere that it pops its ugly head, because I know how it ends. I didn't like something that you said, which was that you hadn't been there.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Okay, so much to unpack here, man. All right, number one. Where do you get that Russia's communism from, man? Like, I'm fighting communism? What decade are you in, motherfucker? I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Last time I checked, the USSR fell, and there's no longer communism in Russia or in Ukraine. Hell, as you can see in these pictures, Russia is an oligarchy full of billionaires that are like what do you call it? They have houses in multi-million dollar houses in the UK and other places in Europe and etc. Well, the average Russian is suffering, you know. And actually, like the most interesting part about this actually is they call Russia an oligarchy, but look at what the highest billionaire is over there. Almost $30 billion. And look at the highest billionaire in our country, like hundreds of billions of dollars some people have over here. And that's what's on the books, actually. So how come we're not an oligarchy? And they say we are a democracy and Russia's an oligarchy. Something to think about. All right, moving on.
So to Ukraine. Communism sucks.
No.
And if you want to, in your lifetime, you want a little snapshot of what communism looks like, it is them having mass graves all along the Donbass, where Russians invaded a foreign country with sovereign, internationally recognized borders to take what they thought they wanted because their leader wanted it. That's it. That's what communism looks like. You have somebody that wants something and they want to take it for them. They don't care the consequence, whether it's life, blood, goods, it doesn't matter. Insert any commodity. They want it, you have it, they're going to take it. So they invaded, they murdered, genocide, mass graves,
And these aren't Ukrainian soldiers, these are civilian mass graves.
Yes, both. We have found Ukrainian soldiers in mass graves that have clearly been tortured, fingernails torn out and teeth torn out and all it's really easy to see in when the bleeding stops, like the blood is still pumping when these damages are being done to the body. So it's gross. So we know that happened. And then you see civilian mass graves where somebody didn't leave a village. Communists want the village. They kill everybody in the village. Now they have the village. That's what they did. I mean, they brought entire cities, not villages, not little outskirt towns, cities to rubble just because they wanted it. If we can't have it, neither can you. Sorry. sorry, fellow citizens, sorry, comrade, I'm going to go ahead and level this whole entire city if I can't have it. This is not just Russia. This is communism.
I love that you anchor, this is communism. It's not Putin. It's not Russia. Yes, they're doing it, but what they're doing is communism.
Oh, Mr. Kennedy, what can I say? You disappoint me.
What's so funny?
Oh, I think you know. The American prevailing is a cliche that only happens in your Hollywood movies. Oh, Mr. Kennedy, you entertain me. To show my appreciation, I will help you awaken from your world of cliches.
Communism is when a country invades another country, a sovereign country, and then, kills people? Is that what it is? Or massacres people? That's what you said? All right. I find it shocked, the hypocrisy, man. As a former American soldier, a Green Beret that has been serving multiple countries. I don't think they invited you in those countries, whether it is in Africa, where you were involved, I know that's for much. Afghanistan, nobody asked you to go to Afghanistan either. And they didn't do 9/11, so that's also an illegal invasion. What else? Syria. Even Congress didn't even sign that off. I don't know how you just went into Syria for some fucking reason or another and somehow take their oil and then sanction them in return as well. I don't know what the fuck is that about. Okay, so actually let's do this. Since the end of the Cold War, since the end of communism, since you don't know Captain Propaganda, how many countries that the U.S. invaded? Okay, let's check this out. All right, we have Panama, Haiti multiple times. Iraq twice, Somalia twice. We have, the African places, West African, Chad, Niger, Mali, and etc. Libya, Syria, Afghanistan. What else we have? That's quite a lot, actually. I think I would have named 12, actually, but even more, or actually almost a dozen, I would say so. And this is forgetting about the coup d'etats and other bullshit like in Ukraine they did as well. So I don't know where you get that definition of communism from. Like that, you sound like you're You're explaining U.S. foreign policy, which is invade, take what you want, kill people if they don't agree with you, and get out. And we've seen this devastating destruction in multiple places, man. Whether it's Libya right now, Libya, what happened to it, and look what the state it is in right now. Whether it's allies Israel and destroying the Palestinians or Lebanon, and so on and so forth. So where's this definition of communism come from, man? I'm fucking confused, man. Actually making my brain hurts, man. Captain Propaganda. Anyway, moving on.
Communism goes in with a sharp edge, but as it's piercing the skin, it's not getting to the organs yet. Cool. Like everybody gets like equal bread rations and my complacency and entitlement gets to be fostered. Sounds good. And this is the tail end of communism, or the meat of it.
Yeah, I mean the cell, the elevator pitch is really beautiful, and I love it. Like if you and I were going to ride from the lobby up to the 25th floor, and I just have the time to tell you, you're going to get free education, you're going to get free medical, you're going to get free food, you're not going to have to work more than the rest of your fellow citizens. Like, I'm not expect more out of you than anybody else. You're going to have just as much as everybody else next to you if you do the same amount of work. These are all regret. Free medical, free food, free education. I'm in, man. And it sounds so simple, but the consequence of what that elevator pitch really looks like is what we are seeing now. That is mass graves. That is murder. That is genocide. That is illegal interference into a sovereign nation crossing internationally recognized borders. That is, Kyiv is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And seeing tanks in town square and sandbags with armed Ukrainians at checkpoints pulling over everybody driving by in a proper metropolitan, in a proper city. They have an opera house and they have a symphony. This is not like this is Kyiv. Yeah. And That happened in our lifetime, and communism did that.
What? Hold up. What was that you were about to say, Mr. Kennedy? Kyiv is not like what? Oh, yeah, Kyiv is not like the Middle Eastern countries you bombed, yes. Or the Middle East or third world countries you bombed, I should say. Like Afghanistan, Syria. Oh, it's not metropolitan area. Oh, bullshit. Fuck out of here, man. Anyway, let's finish this up. All I gotta say is pure unadulterated propaganda. Doesn't talk about NATO, doesn't talk about the coup d'etat that happened in 2014. It doesn't talk about, what do you call it, the Western encroachment upon Russia's territory, like them trying to have missiles over there. Hillary Clinton saying, no, we're using this to humiliate Russia. We're making sure that Russia never stands up again. So the point of this war is not about Ukraine's freedom. Ukraine was given independence by Russia after the end of the Cold War. This is about USA using the Ukrainians to fight the Russians. This is about USA making sure they are the sole empire, number one power in this world. And they don't want Russia, who rose from the ashes of the Cold War, to challenge them again, like it did in Syria. It's because of Russia that they're planning to overthrow Bashar al-Assad. Didn't work. And they're peed off about that. And this is about their power and like maintain number one position. It's not about communism. It's not about anything else. And for that reason, we're going to risk a nuclear war and all of us to die because Washington and those head honchos at the Pentagon and the CIA and whatnot, they don't want to lose their number one seat. Bullshit. And for Europeans as well, I'm fucking disappointed in you guys. Can't believe you're such dogs of the America that you would risk having a nuclear war. Anyway, bye.